What's happening, everybody? I'm Jukebox Ginger, your host of Stardom, with a very special guest. Weeman, how the hell are you, dude?
Dude, I'm good, man. Fucking awesome, man. It's 2022.
No shit, man. Happy
And
New
we're
Year's.
still alive.
I don't know how many times the end of the world is supposed to happen. You know, all my friends are just joking about it, dude. It's the funniest shit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So, what are you up to now, man? I know you got the socks thing happening.
Yeah, got merch 4 socks happening.
I've been.
If you've been seeing them,
Yeah. I need to buy some. My wife loves socks.
Oh, nice. Awesome. Yeah, we got from youth to kids to babies to girls to women to men to everything. So
I'm guessing, are some of them pretty outrageous? Like, you got any like offensive ones?
No, they're pretty tame. They're like they're NC-17. So
okay.
Yeah, we don't do too crazy.
Whatever.
Yeah, we should be having. We're about to release Jackass 4 socks when the movie releases too.
No shit.
Yeah, so we'll have those too.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, when you told me you'd come on, I was like, man, I have not watched Jackass in a while, and I have the DVDs. So I popped in Jackass 3. I didn't realize that was 2010.
Yeah, 12 years ago now.
Damn, man. Do you still keep in touch with pretty much everyone from the group?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's good, man. So, that's good.
We stopped filming in March of last year. So
for the 4th one?
Yeah. But we chit chat still and everybody. So
do you think COVID has a lot to do with it taking so long, or is that pretty normal for it to take so long to
release? No, COVID's a huge thing of why it took so long. COVID was big, why it took so long to film it too. So we started filming December of 2019, and we were about to take a break in March, just to take like a week break because we were kind of like beat up enough. And then right when we took a break, COVID hit, and so our break ended up being a 7-month break. And then we got back to filming, and then we had to film with COVID rules.
Oh, I was about to ask, was there shit you couldn't do
again? Yeah, then we had to go to COVID rules.
So was there certain things that you weren't allowed to do that you wanted to do?
Yeah, we couldn't go in the public. Like, we couldn't be around the public and get like reactions, from them too much. So
I can't really imagine it being as funny if you guys are all wearing masks trying to do shit.
Oh, we're definitely not wearing masks. So yeah, it's funny when you watch TV and newscasters are wearing masks and they're the only one in the town doing a story about the town and no one's around them. And you're like, you're outside and you're wearing a mask.
Well, and like on here, I'll have guests and they'll like ask me, and I have to say no because I'm not vaccinated, I'm not against it, but hey, do you? But they'll ask me if I am, and like they won't be on my show if I'm not. And I'm like, we're fucking on a camera, dude. What do you?
Well, COVID can travel through through 5G.
Yeah,
COVID is submitted through 5G.
Fiber and everything.
And all yeah, all of it.
All right, so I kind of explained the concept of my show, and what I try to do is pick topics semi-relatable to the guests that I have on.
Okay.
So I went with some fuck my life stories that people posted on Twitter and blogs and stuff.
All right.
And then, so I'll read them, and then we'll randomly, whatever pops up, we talk about. You can bring up other stories and shit.
Okay.
First up. A college crush asked me to open her beer at a party. To impress her, I tried to open it with my teeth. The bottle shattered, and my gums started bleeding in front of everyone. Horrified, she told me it's a twist off.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
That what came to mind, like thinking of things like that. Two of my buddies and I went to Utah, which is a very alcohol tame state.
Yeah.
And they regulate, like, their beers are like 2.5 and 3%. And then they regulate booze where you like just get 1 ounce for a shot. And I was doing like a meet and greet or an appearance, and they like, oh, we got a VIP room for you. Put me in the VIP room. And it just so happened there was this other little dude in town, And I wanted him to hang out with us. Like, come in the VIP room with us too, right? And so the bartender, server, or whatever says, okay.
Yeah, you're
I
still
had
there,
to
man.
decline a telemarketer phone call. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good, man.
Hold on.
You're good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good, dude. Are you using your phone?
Camera, yep. Audio, yep. Audio's on. Okay.
You good? Are we good?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
I don't hear you though.
What the hell, man?
I still don't hear you.
What the fuck? Hold on a second. Hello?
Yep. All right.
Where we go? All right, man. I don't know what happened.
I had to decline a telemarketing phone call.
Oh, are you on your phone right now?
Yeah.
That would make sense.
I used to have computers and all that, and they just sat and got dusted, so I don't have computers.
Dude, you're good, man. Most of the shit you do is in person, so yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I was saying, we're in Utah, alcohol rules like, beer's 2.5 to 3%, whatever. They give you an ounce. So they put me in this VIP room, and there's this little dude, and I bring him in. Well, they ask, what's the first bottle you want? What's one bottle you want to bring in right now? And I'm like, well, I want a Jameson. He wants a Jack Daniels, and he wants this, and they're like, well, we can bring one in. And I'm like, whatever. So they bring the Jameson in, and it has like this topper thing on it. And I take the bottle, and I broke the topper off. And I'm like, all right, bring us another bottle. And they didn't know what to do, so they brought more booze. And then, people started coming in. There was these girls coming in and stuff. And I'm like, let's make this fun. And I'm like, ladies, put your boobs all over this little dude's head. And like 6 chicks just lifted their tops and were like, put their boobs all over this dude's head. And I was like, yes.
This great,
is awesome. That's how and so the top opening of the beer where the guy did it with his teeth, I thought of it because I broke the top off and just said, nope, let's keep going.
That reminds me. So on Jackass 3, the scene where you're in the bar with the chick, and then all the little dude, like the paramedics and the cops, all like these small.
Yeah, it's everybody's a little dude. Yeah. A funny part to that story is the first bar we went into. It's near this it's in the harbor near the docking area where the boats come and all the the dock workers work. And one of my buddies was in the bar, and he sat across from me. He's like, oh, hey, man, how's it going? And I'm like, shit, if shit goes down, he's going to jump in.
Oh, no shit.
So our cameraman, Dimitri, went over and, stood next to him and, showed him that he had the camera and said, hey, man, don't get involved. Don't get involved. And he goes, oh, okay,
Yeah.
So we had to do one of those.
That's good.
Yeah.
Do you guys, so I'm guessing you tell, that was probably just a random bar you guys picked, right?
We just picked a random bar. We didn't. We would used to before this way, but we used to just go film and ask for forgiveness than asking for permission. So once you have it, you didn't. You don't destroy too much. People are usually lenient and let you do stuff.
Well, and it's it's hard to because if you tell them, then it's almost kind of messes with the whole.
Oh yeah, it totally ruins the whole bit. Yeah, the way it's gonna be. Yeah.
All right, you ready for the next one?
Always.
Right. A Girl Scout asked me to buy cookies in front of a grocery store. She looked nice, so I bought 5 boxes from her. She took the money and went home with her mom. I opened the boxes when I got home and realized the boxes were full of rocks.
No way. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Little kid scamming people.
Oh yeah.
That mom's just prepping her before they go up there, hey, just play it. Don't let them know.
Yeah. I can't think of anything my mom did with me when I was younger, but me and my buddy, that back in the day, we're older now, But back in the day, thrifty ice cream used to be 25 cents or 35 cents. It probably was 25 cents too at one time. But we would sit in front of Thrifties and ask for like quarters so we could call home, and we'd get enough so we could each buy an ice cream.
I had a comedian from New York on, and he was telling me how he was supposed to do a colonoscopy, so he had the kit and everything ready for it. Okay. And then they canceled it. So he has this kit. He's just like, I want to do something funny with it. Well, he's got a daughter. I was like, dude, you should totally do like a little 25-cent lemonade stand out on the street and just have her serving it.
Oh, with the kit. That's funny, dude. That's a good one.
I mean, I'd probably have, my daughter's 5. I don't know if she'd get it, but
yeah.
That'd be funny.
His daughter not even understanding what it is, but he shows her how it works, and then she's just like, okay, here you
go. So this is a little off topic, but I know you were doing like a skit. Was it a bath time podcast or something where you're actually outside your van, right?
Oh yeah, I was kind of doing it for a little while when I got my first van November 2018, and I kind of did it for a little bit, and it just was like whatever, here and there.
Yeah.
So
did you you still have the van too, don't you?
I have my second van. So I bought one used. It only had like 11,000 miles, but it had everything I thought I needed, like toilet, shower, stove, kitchen, that whole thing. And it just took up so much room. You didn't even have room to chill. And so after having that one for 7 months, I realized I only used the toilet like 3 times because I hated cleaning out my own shit.
Yeah.
And then after you shower, you got to clean it all out. And I'm like, I figured out I could go to Starbucks at 5 a.m, grab a coffee, take a shit there, or, like go to the gym and do it there and shower. Yeah. And I could go to gyms or like health spas and shower up, and I wouldn't have to clean it all up,
There's fucking truck stops too, man.
Oh yeah, I used to go to Flying J all the time too, like on the road, shower up there. So yeah.
How did you like it though? I mean, I'm guessing you traveled around quite a bit, right?
Yeah, I traveled around, hit different spots. The first one I got I bought it in Arkansas, and I realized from the guy I bought it from, I was 1 hour away from Preston's house, and he was up, in Missouri. And so I called him and I said, hey, I just got this van. I don't want to go too crazy driving. I'm just, can I drive it to your house and crash in your front yard? And he's like, totally. So I drove up there, crashed in his front yard, and we had a blast. We went out to dinner and had a great time.
Is he big city or small town?
He lives in Joplin, Missouri. Small town.
Fuck, and that's a small town. I live in Kansas City. I know Joplin.
Oh, yeah, he lives in Joplin. Yeah, he's a Chiefs fan. So
good, dude. Yeah, actually, you posted on Instagram with you. And,
when he came. But so even in 2018, before I bought did I have my van already or no? But 2018, we flew into New York and we watched that first game there that season in New York. And I told Preston, if the Chiefs make it to the Super Bowl, let's come back to this bar and watch them. Well, they made it all the way to the playoffs, and Preston got nervous. So he's like, let's go to the bar and watch it. And watch. I was like, all right. And it was a pretty fun time.
Yeah, man. Chiefs fans are fun, man. If you ever have a chance to see a home game, dude,
I want to go to a home Chiefs game with Preston.
The tailgating is fucking phenomenal, too.
Oh, yeah. He sends photos all the time. We know on every Sunday this year, we text Preston, just like you can tell, he's in the zone.
You be out there like 5 a.m. It's negative 10 degrees outside. People fucking just drunk, having a good time.
Hell yeah.
All right, you ready for the next story?
Sure.
I was the only one in an elevator when an attractive girl came in talking on her phone. She told her friend, I have to go. There's a cute guy on this elevator. Before I could react, she turned to me and said, sorry for lying. I really wanted to get off the phone.
Oh my God.
Man, I thought he just really, that guy just dropped a few pegs mentally.
Oh yeah. So I kind of do this thing. You know when you see a hot chick and everybody knows and she knows she's a hot chick. I've played this game where I know like she's gonna come because you know, I'm in a place like, say like just a burger joint, and I'll be with my buds, and I'll even tell them. And they're like, "Oh, dude," everybody's like, "Check out that chick." I'm like, "Watch, if she comes up and asks for a photo, watch what I do." So obviously the chick comes up and, "Hey, can I get a photo?" And I'm like, "No way, you're not even cute enough." And everybody, you know, it gets a reaction out of everybody because everybody's like, "Oh, there's the hot chick," whatever. And I'm like, just ruin her. But then, of course, I bring her back, and I'm like, "All right."
And even if they're not like really into you or whatever, like they're probably leaving there like, "What the fuck? Seriously?" Or, there's no they go in the bathroom, like checking themselves in the mirror.
Yeah. Yeah, but I've done the "you're not cute enough."
That's perfect, dude. Are you engaged?
No, I did it for a hot second right in during COVID because I think I had a little bit of the COVID in me and I didn't know what to do. So I did, but now we split up.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's for me. I really? Just I'm too like antsy and go getter and have to leave and do, you know.
You're all over the place, dude.
I'm always all over the place.
We do the like your skate videos and stuff. Do you travel to do those too?
Sometimes, yeah. But most of the time it's within an hour from where I'm at.
What's the craziest place you've skated? Like, have you ever just been traveling and you're like, dude, I want to fucking skate on that?
Oh, when we were doing Wild Boys, we emptied out this alligator pond because we saw how rad it was and we moved the alligators or whatever, and we skated in the pond. Oh, and I believe that was in Thailand. What? So in Thailand, in like an alligator pond.
That's pretty sweet, man.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a good time.
I sent you that picture of my kid getting that skateboard. It was I don't know if Element Black Diamond.
Yeah, I saw that.
And
awesome.
I was like, what the fuck? Like the tape, you have to put the tape, the grip on there and everything.
Do everything.
And I have no clue because I'm not, you know, I've never been good at skateboarding.
Yeah, no worries.
When I was in high school, I had a skateboard and I'd use it to get around. And occasionally I would put a plank on it and I would put my mower and my weed eater on there and push it around to go mow yards.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Next story. I heard my sister masturbating in her room. I decided to take the dog for a walk because it skeeved me. When I returned, she was walking out of her room with my vibrating toothbrush.
Wow. No, I don't have nothing like that. Yeah.
Me either.
I wish I had something close to that. Nothing's even like popping in my head or anything, but that's a weird one.
That is a weird one. As a kid, that being your sibling, it'd probably be really awkward.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, toys are toys. I've been married for 6 years. You know, people use toys, but I mean, I'm not surprised that it's a toothbrush, but at the same time, it's like, nah.
Yeah, was she just gonna put it back and just let him keep brushing his teeth, or was she?
Or how long has she been using it?
Trade it out and put a brand new one on for him.
You just replace the head on it.
Yeah.
That would be their argument too. She'd be like, "Oh, I cleaned it.
I rinsed it for you."
For the first time ever, a woman saw my penis. I'm 30 years old. The woman was my doctor. She snorted to cover a laugh and apologized.
All right. First story that popped in my head. So we're at this like bar. We've been going, me and just my friends, we're going around drinking at different bars and stuff. And we ended at this one, and it was like a Wednesday or Thursday night. And there was just like this local bar band playing. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we're having a good time drinking and stuff. And there's all these babes there, whatever. And somehow, like, one babe's like, "Oh, yeah, show your tits," to one chick. And she raises her shirt up, shows her boobs. And I'm like, "Oh, shit, Bologna Nipples." You know, the huge nipples that are just like that big. And everybody's like, "Oh my God," you know, like tripping out. Yes. And people are dying, whatever. The band's going off. And then the band ends and the band's like, "All right, we want to thank everybody for showing up tonight. We changed our names. We're now called the Bologna Nipples.
Was it like a little? Was it a local like punk band?
Yeah, like or local rock band, you know, that was just there. But they had so much fun with it and so into it that it was pretty cool.
That story reminds me. I used to go floating every year, you know, down in Missouri.
Okay.
And it was like a 7-mile float, and it was all ages. So I mean, you have college kids, you've got old people getting trashed, and halfway through the day, it's 100 degrees outside. Half these chicks are so drunk. You know, like 70-year-olds with these tits that hang down to their their belly button. Like, passed out, sitting on a cooler, just floating down the river.
Oh, of course. That reminds me. One time, me and my buddies were at a bar in Vegas. I think it was Vegas or somewhere. And we went to like this little side area, and the chicks are like, "Hey, you got to get like Olga over there to show her tits. She's got some good ones." We're like, "What do you mean?" And it's like this older lady, and they're like, "Yeah, you got to get her." And we're like, "All right." So we're like, "Olga, show us your check. I don't just show my tits for anything." And I'm like, "Fuck it. Here's $100. Olga, show your tits." And she did. And for this older lady, she had some pretty good boobs. I was like, damn.
Were they natural?
Yeah, natural, good boobs.
Nice.
And we were like, all right, now we see why all the chicks are selling her, you know, their titties for them.
You hear like women go, boobs are boobs. But it's like, no, they're different kinds of boobs. Some of them are nice.
There are totally different kinds of boobs. There's some kind that look, but the nipples are looking like the eyes, when somebody has eyes that go like that. There's perky ones. There's droopers.
Well, and then when you said bologna nipples, I'm thinking, man, watch her be like an A cup with like these just massive nipples.
Oh, no. Her boobs were huge, and that's why she was flashing them. But I don't think anybody ever called her out on her areola size. It's like that, you know, 6x6.
You should have taken a picture of your face next to them so you can see like, the equivalence in size.
Yeah.
All right. Next up. I woke up to the sound of my dad banging on my dorm room for a surprise visit. I cracked the door to say hey, and my roommate decided to strip naked, pull the door open, kiss me on the cheek, and say, "Hey, thanks for last night," and then runs out the
room. There has to be maybe not with me, but probably like Steve or Chris, but I can't think of anything that's close to that, but I know something.
Now, when you guys do your skits, do you guys all just take turns coming up with ideas, or is there certain people who have like the idea?
It all depends. Sometimes there's an idea written, and then while we're out there waiting to do this idea we've written, we just come up with some because we see some off to the side, and then we do that.
Like, I know that like you're kicking yourself in the forehead's pretty iconic.
Yeah. That was just off the cuff, like Knox heard, like, little people can do it. And then so the next day we're just at camp, and he asked me, he's like, "Can you do it?" I'm like, "Hell yeah." And he's like, "Oh, dude, you got to do it."
Dude, I could probably knee myself in the chin, but there's no way I can get my leg up that.
Yeah.
What's the craziest injury you've had from it? I mean, I'm guessing it probably wasn't Jackass, probably from skateboarding.
It was skateboarding. A spiral fractured my femur, which is your biggest bone in your body, your thigh bone.
Yeah.
Super thick, super strong. I was doing this interview for like this small skateboard magazine, and we'd gotten some clips, and now we're doing the interview part. We're at this Mexican restaurant, so we decided, let's see how many Tecatis we can drink and line up the cans and stuff. We're doing that. And then I get a phone call from my buddy, and he's like, "Hey, we're skating Doug's ramp tonight. You should come." I'm like, "Oh," like lights are on. I'm like, "All right," but I'm pretty buzzed. And I bring these guys, and third run in, I'm just kind of like loosey-goosey skating, not even, paying attention. I locked up my back truck on the coping, but my front truck got caught behind the coping, and I just wiggled out, and I put my foot down on the transition, and I slammed it. When I did, it rotated like my leg, and my foot ended up behind me.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. So yeah. So it was pretty bad. That's probably the worst one.
Damn, man, that sounds painful.
Yeah, it was.
My buddy M-Bomb from the M-Bomb Effect podcast says, "Yo, Jukebox and Weeman." So
all right.
put it out there. Yeah, he's on here listening.
We're on live right now.
3.
We want to thank the both of you for being here tonight.
I'm gonna guess it's my wife, a guy from my work, and then M-Bomb.
Nice.
Most of my stuff I get is through Spotify and iHeartRadio and Apple.
Okay,
yeah.
rad.
I just like doing it live so people can tune in and chat if they want to. So
yeah.
Awesome. I think the craziest one that I've ever had is when I used to live on like a dead end street in school.
Yeah.
And my side driveway was pretty long. I'd probably say a quarter mile long, paved. And we would set up on the street. We set up a ramp, like a little makeshift ramp. And I mean, we're kids. We're not that fucking intelligent. And I was riding my bike and I was going to jump the ditch and the grip on the handlebars was gone. Okay. So I go to jump the ditch and I'm all pumped and the fucking front end just noses down into the other side of the ditch. The wheel turns and fucking just guts right in my gut, man. The handlebar. Oh, dude. I remember going inside to tell my mom and she rushes me. Oh, hey, my wife just says, yes, I'm on here.
She watches you.
She's not a fan.
Yeah, you're really on your podcast talking to Weeman. Sure you are.
It's really
Jake. Checks in to make sure.
Jake from State Farm.
At 3 in the morning.
She probably just didn't believe it was really you, so she had to tune in because she's not a fan of my podcast.
I hear you.
She doesn't like talk radio, man. It's not her thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, dude, I couldn't fucking breathe for like 5 minutes. I thought I was gonna die. It was the worst feeling in the world.
Damn.
I'm sure you've racked yourself a few times.
Oh, racked myself multiple times. Multiple.
Dude, I mean, what's the scariest one that ended up not being that big of a deal? Did you have any of those?
Oh, here's a trippy one. So we're skating this gap, doing tricks over this gap, and I didn't catch my board or whatever, and I landed my arch of my foot right dead on where the sidewalk started, fully right into the curb. And I was like, I've sprained my foot pretty bad. Stayed off of it for 3 months. Got back into, skating again. We were doing the 6 stair. And I didn't catch my board again one time. And I jammed my foot forward. So I jammed my big toe.
Oh, rough.
And I was like, fuck, I think I broke my big toe. So I'm like, let's just go to, X-ray, emergency room. Just drive me there and I'm going to get an X-ray. So I get an X-ray and my foot's up. And the doctor comes back. I haven't even seen the X-ray yet. And he starts rubbing my heel. And he's like, well, does this hurt? And does this hurt? And does this hurt? And I'm like, no, none of this hurts. What do you do? I came in here for my big toe. And he just goes, wham! And he yanks my big toe. I'm like, yeah. He goes, well, maybe you dislocated it or something. But he pulls up the X-ray and he goes, nothing in the X-ray shows your big toe, but look down here. I had a whole bone fragment hanging off my heel that never grew back. Oh, shit. And I'm like, oh, crap. My buddy was in there. He's like, dude, I think that happened for a couple months ago when you jammed your foot. And I'm like, shit. I'm like, well, that hurt, but didn't even know it wasn't that bad.
Damn, man. Yeah, I think the dumbest one I ever had was I was riding with my cousins on our bikes and we were going down this hill. We were crossing this bridge and this fucking bee hits me in the head. So I go to swat the bee and lose control. I hit the grip or the brakes on the left handle and just fucking flip over the bike and just face plant on the cement.
Damn.
Man, bugs. You don't expect it, but sometimes they can fuck you up.
Oh, yeah. That can fuck you up. That's for sure.
Have you done any? I don't know. Have you done stuff with bugs? I know you guys bring it bugs and shit.
Oh, yeah. Wild Boys, we did all kinds of stuff. We did dung beetles. We've done spiders, different things. Yeah, we've done all kinds of stuff. Wild Boys, we did it more with than Jackass.
Yeah. So. I've seen a little bit of Wild Boys, but not nearly as much. I mean, I've seen all the Jackasses. But.
Yeah.
My buddy, actually, this is a guy at my work. His name's Tyler. Says he saw Preston at a bar here in Kansas City and asked him if he wanted a Jaeger bomb. He said, hell yeah. But he did it without the Red Bull.
Oh, he just did the straight Jaeger.
Yeah.
I would rather too, because I've gone out times and I'll be drinking, and I'm almost ready to go. And someone's like, "Oh, let's do a car, Jaeger bomb or something." And you do it, and then you go home, and you want to pass out, but you can't, and you're just laying in bed all awake all night. So I know that's why he didn't want to do the Red Bull.
Yeah,
like, give me the Jaeger, dude. Fuck the Red Bull.
Yeah, I'll do Jaeger all day, but no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Let's see. Somebody else, dude. People are tuning in now. Can Weeman still kick himself in the forehead?
Oh yeah, at some point I can.
Do you do it pretty often or no?
No, I haven't really done it since the video.
Mm-hmm.
So
a lot of these guys are podcasters. Big Clown does. He's from Ireland or Ireland. He does
Ireland.
Ireland. Well, dude, he fucks with me all the time because I sent him a picture. I sent him a picture of Iceland one time thinking it was Ireland, and he still gives me shit about it.
That's funny.
A quick shout out to him, though. He's Invasion of the Potty Snatchers. He also does something called Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh, rad. So here's a shot thing that even, that kind of shot thing and Preston doing it made me think of. One morning, like when I moved to this new town and my buddies were all around, we went out to this, like, we started drinking like at a dive bar. Mm-hmm. And then we were like, oh, let's go to Nobu. And Nobu's kind of like a fancy restaurant, but it has a patio area out on the water. Mm-hmm. And so we were sitting out there and we were all pretty loud already. Mm-hmm. And my buddy's like, okay, everybody's loud, come on. And people were trying to sit. I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. Let's make everybody happy. And I didn't think it would get like this, but I'm like, hey, who wants a tequila shot? Seriously, everybody around us raised their hand. And the bartender came. I'm like, all right. And I had to count. And I started counting the people. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, all right, 27 Casamigo Blanco shots. And I'm like, for everybody. They came out they put them all on those like round trays that they carry, like, dirty dishes off. Brought them out, and I just started handing them to everybody. Took the shot, and I'm like, fuck it. We can be as loud and rude as we want now.
Everybody's fucking drinking.
Everybody's all shotted up.
When I was when we were on the float trips, there was a quiet side of the river and a loud side, obviously, because it's all ladies. Yeah. And we camped on the quiet side one time. I think it's because we couldn't get a spot or something, so we went to the quiet side. And we walked over there with a cooler full of beer. We didn't drive. Okay. And of course, when you're on a flow trip, I mean, you're drinking like 19 hours straight. Yeah. So it's like 2 a.m, and I remember I'm done. So I passed out in the backseat of some random dude's car because he's like, yeah, dude, it's fine. And the next morning we wake up, we're eating breakfast back at the campsite, and one of my friends that was there goes, dude, do you remember almost hitting that dude in the tent last night? I'm like, what are you talking about, man? He's like, oh, well, you passed out, and then we went back to get more liquor, and so we drove the car back. And then we decided since you were napping, you drove us back to the camp. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, shit.
And they're like, yeah, you almost like swerved into this dude. So I'm like, why the fuck? Dude, I could have went to jail for manslaughter, man.
Yeah, jail. You could
prison,
dude. Death row, dude.
Who knows who else was in the tent, man? I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
All right, next story. I was out to eat when the restaurant manager approached me. He told me he respected my personal choices. However, his patrons didn't feel comfortable with someone who used to be a man using the women's restroom. I'm a natural born female.
Oh, shit. Wow.
That's rough. That's a rough one.
That is a way rough one.
Have you guys, because I know sometimes you guys dress up. Yeah. Has anybody ever like not actually realized who you were?
In the last movie, when I did when I did Mini Preston.
Yeah, you walk out of the room with the dog to get the dog.
Yeah,
right?
That guy, he tripped out for a second, but he still gave me the dog, and so I walked away. But then he ran and goes, "That's not your dog." You know what I mean?
Like, why would he even give you the dog?
But he gave me the dog, and I was like, whatever. But when after Preston and I got to get geared up. Preston just showed up to work normal, and we started driving around to do this. That was the first one we did, was get that guy. And when we were driving in the parking lot, Preston goes, "We're gonna get that guy," and we did. We actually got him.
Oh, well, that's crazy, because you would think that to get like somebody to help you out, usually it probably takes a few tries for most of it, right?
No, usually, because you don't think about it. Think about Preston just like an average looking big dude that just walks up and goes, "Hey, can you hold my dog for a second?" the guy's not gonna like scope him up and down and go, okay, he's wearing, you know, Puma Adidas shoes, whatever. His socks are up. These short, you know, Calvin Klein shorts, whatever. So he's just gonna be like, okay, yeah, know that it's like a dude. And then I come out looking like him, just miniature.
That was hilarious.
Yeah,
man.
it's, you know.
Did that, like, the makeup work on that? Did that take a while to get, you know?
Oh yeah, took quite a while. It takes quite a while. Had to cover up on my tattoos and stuff. So yeah.
Does that, is that like sweaty and itchy when you have like masks and shit on?
Yeah, it gets annoying after a while. But it at first, you know, you start feeling it, and then like once you're going through the day, you're like, fuck, I just want to rip this thing off.
Yeah. What's the most takes you've had to do on a scene? Like, is there one in particular that you had to redo a bunch of fucking times?
Not really. Jackass stuff's usually like a one and done, maybe twice, you know. But we like that bit. We drove around to try and get like better reactions as much as we can, just to see what we can do. But it'd be one takes each time on different, you know, people in different areas.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, next up. Just found out my parents are my grandparents, and my sister, who's 16 years older than me, is actually my mom. I've always hated my sister.
Wow.
Dude. That sounds like some backwoods stuff right there.
That's some Kansas stuff.
You don't have any 16-year-old moms out there, dude?
Somewhere we do.
It's COVID now, man. You probably got some 13, 14-year-old moms out there.
Yeah. You don't know how many we have now.
When COVID first took off and they started quarantining everything, what did you have to like did you just hang out in your house for a while?
Here's the funniest story. So when it first hit, so we just took a break, and it kind of first hit like that March 12th through 17th night. And that Friday night, like of that weekend where it really hit, I had a plan. I was with this girl. She's full on type 1. She was a type 1 diabetic. And so we would go out and stuff, and we were going out with this other couple. And we showed up to this restaurant, and it was dead. And I filmed around, and I'm like, hell yeah, COVID could come around anytime, man. I love how the restaurant is. And people went off on me. What are you doing? You should be home, quarantining, brother. And it's like, okay, you're yelling at me on the fucking internet. You know, why don't you come out in person yell at it? And I'm like, and there's people here working. So people were still working, and everybody was like, so what is this? Everybody's tripping, you know?
Yeah.
But then it went like full on, like for that 2 weeks, you know, like boom, quarantine yourselves. And I did with her because, you know, she was high risk, you know.
Yep.
And I did it then for the next 2 weeks, which was a month. And I go, okay, I can't fucking do this. I can't.
Oh, man.
And I left house like early one morning just to go skate. And I was driving around. It was kind of ghost towny. And I just randomly showed up to the skate spot. And there was like 4 dudes I knew there. And I'm like, dude, like, we've been skating this the whole time. And I'm like, done. I'm here all the time now. This is awesome.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That is one thing. If you don't like a lot of people, it definitely helps with that.
Oh, yeah. And I was like stoked to at least I didn't like being stuck in the house, and then I did, and I like being out, but not with a lot of people around.
Well, yeah, you probably get like rushed a lot too.
By people, all the time. So at the Kansas City Chargers game, the Chiefs Chargers game that Preston and I were just at, we started drinking a little early, and so we got to the game, and we're even like 2 hours early to the game. And this dude rolls out and just starts blabbing to us. And Preston's a little like buzz already. And he goes, hey, why'd you borrow your girlfriend's shirt today? Because he was wearing like a full medium with the neck like down to here, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh crap. I'm like, oh no, dude, we're just fucking with you and all that, you know? And then the dude's like, want to make a bet on the game? Because Preston was wearing a Chiefs jersey.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck yeah, we do. And he goes, all right, what do you want to do? I'm like, let's make it a gentleman's bet. And he goes, all right. I'm like, $100, let's go. So dude walks away, 'cause we're over at these like seats or this like little booth area, before the game, having some drinks. So we go down to our seats, and the dude's like one section over from us, one row up. So he's right there. And I'm like, fuck. And every time, like, he would like, hey, Weeman, and then flex because like maybe the Chargers scored or whatever.
That's so douchey.
But the game, and I just looked at him. I never said a word. Game was back to back, all the way fourth quarter. People, and it's a lot of Charger fans, and then over here there was some Chief fans and stuff. And then he kept coming over. He's like, dude, want to make it $300? Want to make it $1,000? And all I said was, whatever you want to do, dude, your fault. I kept doing that. And he's like, oh, we'll just keep it 100. I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, I'm game. Whatever you want to do. And game went overtime. Chiefs won. The stadium was like, oh my God. And I look, and the dude's gone.
Of course.
And I'm like, are you kidding me? And so we're like, whatever, say bye. All of a sudden, we started walking up the stairs. He's at the top with a $100 bill out. And he's like, good game. I'm like, all right, thanks for being the man. Yep. Boom.
Okay, so this is off the wall. But I moved to Colorado Springs for a while. And I've told this story before, but it's just too funny. And I went to jail because we had smoked a bowl in the car, and I got pulled over, and I didn't have my card. This is back in 2011.
Okay.
And so it wasn't fully legalized.
Yeah.
And so we're pulling up this party. I get like this cop pulls me over, and he makes me do like sobriety tests. And I've never been to Colorado Springs before, so they booked me, take me to this hospital uptown, and make me do a piss. And they release me. They're like, all right, here's your court date. So a couple months later, I'm driving to work, and I fucking forgot about my court date, whatever. So they booked me. They're like, okay, your court hearing is now 6 weeks out. So you're sitting in jail for 6 weeks. I'm like, are you fucking over something stupid? Like, smoking. And I'm in there, and like 2 weeks into it, this fucking crackhead in the same like cell as me, he goes, he shouldn't be in here, man. I'm like, I know. And I've got the money to get out. I just don't have it. He's like, well, I get out in a couple weeks. I'll get you out. I'm like, all right, whatever, man. And then they move him cell blocks. So I was like, well, there goes that,
Yeah.
And like another week or two later, and I get this call, hey, pack up your shit. You're getting out of here. I'm like, no fucking. I get out, and this fucking crackhead standing out there. He bailed me out.
Shut up. That's pretty rad.
So, it was the dumbest thing too.
Oh yeah, of course. But here's a weed one to that one. So at the Jackass 3 premiere, I invited my Chronic Tacos business partner there. And then we invited our 70-year-old old dude friend, Barney. And we do the premiere. Everything's going good. And we're driving back. And those dudes light up a joint. They're like smoking it. And we're in a Rolls Royce. He has a Rolls Royce. All of a sudden, we get pulled over. And he's freaking out. And our old buddy, Barney, goes, don't worry. I got this. And he pulls out this aerosol can and just goes real quick. We're like, what the fuck? Right, what are you doing? So we roll down the window. Carl's like, hey guys, what's going on? Didn't even have a hint of weed smell in it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, we're just coming back from Jackass 3D premieres right down the street, right there. We're just kidding. All right, just checking on what's going on here, guys. Have a good night. And in 2010, weed was not legal here in California at all.
And you had to, you had to kind of smell it. There's no way it was gone.
Dude, it fucking killed it. He even, he brought it and he goes, dude, this will kill it. And somehow he just went real quick and just, and it was gone. And we're like, what the hell?
That's crazy, man. That should be, you need to advertise aerosol, man.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's out there and he had it.
Yeah.
So it was pretty good.
Well, especially with all the ads for weed dispensaries now, aerosol should just put theirs up next to it now.
No, because weed's legal now. You can just do whatever you want with weed.
You can't drive. You can't drive on it. You're not supposed
That's
to.
That's true. Can't drive with weed. That's true. Got a point.
Get those little car scents that you put in the vents. The aerosol brand,
the Febreze. Put the little Febreze thing in there.
All right, I got 2 more stories. You ready for the next one?
Yeah.
I was at the dentist getting a cavity filled. As she's drilling into my tooth, I feel the drill slip and then quickly stuffs gauze into my mouth. She nervously laughs and says to me, wow, you must really be numb.
Whoa, dude.
I don't know what my reaction would be, dude. I'd be like, "What the fuck did you do?" I'd try to move.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do either.
have you
But the
have you
only
had any stunts that went wrong or anything, and like you guys fucked up and you went with it?
not really. They
It
thought
seemed
I died. All the guys thought I died on the parachute one, where I was on the parachute and I let it go off the dock, and then it's like, and Steve was like, "Hey, are you okay?" And I can't hear, kinda. They even Manny Plague and everybody, they thought, "Oh, dude, we thought I got tangled up, choked, and died."
No shit, man.
Yeah.
uh, why? So when you guys started Jackass, like, did you already know several of these guys? I think you skated
Yeah,
with a
we were
few of them,
doing
right?
Big Brother videos before
Yeah.
this.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yep.
And then Chronic Tacos. Is that
Yeah.
still a thing?
Yeah.
No shit. So
Yeah.
COVID didn't affect it too much. That's good.
We closed down. I think we closed down 3 bad stores during it.
Mm-hmm.
And just it didn't do good for them, so we just shut those down. But we have about 58, 60 stores right now.
No shit. All out in Cali? Are they all in
No,
Cali?
we're all the way to North Carolina, all the way up in Canada, Hawaii, and Japan.
You need to get some out in Kansas, man. I'll try it.
Yeah, we got to bring it to Kansas.
I mean, same with In-N-Out Burger, man. We don't have those out here either.
Yeah. Every time Preston comes to LA, he definitely hits In-N-Out.
And I've been to Vegas, and I had it in Vegas. It was good, man.
Vegas, you gotta get there. When Preston and I meet up and we go to Vegas, we go to Sonic Burger.
Never been there.
You never been to Sonic Burger?
Yeah,
you gotta go to Sonic Burger, dude.
All right, man.
That's a game changer.
We used to have one called Backyard Burger. It was a little like franchise. It was small. Never got real big, but it was fucking good, man. And they got rid of it. They all shut down several years back.
Yeah.
What made you decide to do Chronic Tacos?
Right after the second movie, in between the second movie and then the third, my buddy came up to me and he'd been trying it out in Corona, California. And he's like, "Dude, we should bring one to our area. It's called the South Bay." And I said, "All right, find out." And he went to go find out and went back and talked to one of the partners in Corona. They're like, "No, we're not franchising anymore. We're doing different." And he goes, "I don't know. You may want to franchise with this guy." And he's like, "Who do you got?" And he goes, "I got Weeman." He goes, "No, you don't." Like, he didn't believe. He goes, "Yeah." He goes, so he talked to his partner and then he called me. It was like I was on the phone with him and he was on the phone with the CEO. And we talked. We're like, "All right, let's meet up this Friday. If we make a good connection, we'll figure something out." And we went out, had a nice dinner, but then afterwards went out drinking and stuff. We're like, "We're perfect. Let's do this."
So your personality, you guys just made friends. And
personalities clicked and everything was good. And I told them, I said, "I'm not just going to franchise. If I'm going to be part of this, I want to be part of the corporate company too." So I'm one of the corporate owners also.
Okay. That's awesome, man.
So yeah, I don't fuck around.
Nah, no shit. Especially if you're gonna do something like that, you gotta
go big. Don't just give all your juice away for somebody else. Like, get something out of it.
All right, I got one more story and then we'll kind of wrap it up. All right. I texted my college boyfriend to tell him how terrible I felt about cheating. He replied saying he was so relieved because he'd been cheating on me with the girl in his dorm. I was talking about my exams.
Damn.
Wow. You've been in quite a few relationships. Have any of them ended like just stupid, like just awkward endings, or have they all been pretty mutual?
That last one, the girl I was engaged with, we got into like an argument one time, so we were kind of like on high water. And then the next thing came up and it was politics. And we were two-sided on shit. And it just kept like, "No, this is and we're both like, "Well, if you can't agree, and now we can have kids and raise them." And I'm like, "If we're raising kids, I'm gonna let the kid choose." We're done.
Oh man, politics fuck up everything too.
Oh yeah. You know what my new thing is right now too, what I'm tired of, because it never gets anywhere. My new one is now, if we're hanging out and we're talking, no politics, no religion, and no COVID talk. Because if you're going to talk COVID, there's no answer. No, so it's just like politics and just like religion. You're going to believe your beliefs. I'm going to believe mine. Da 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 da. And all it is going to be wasted air. And and people are going to get pissed. Da da da. So no, those are the three now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, and it's sad that it has to be like COVID.
PRC. No PRC. Politics, religion, or COVID.
And dude. And that's one thing I hate about. Like, and there's nothing wrong with religion, but when people are so diehard, like, no,
do you believe what you want?
Come on, man.
Yeah, I don't care what you believe, what your background is, anything you do, but just keep it to yourself. And I just like you for you as a person, and that's it. Keep it that way.
That's right, man. It's like, and that's like, if there's certain people I do avoid because I know I'm not going to get along with them. You know?
Oh yeah,
but it's not because I have a problem with them, as you be you. I'm just avoiding the conflict.
Oh yeah, you don't want to. Yeah, and conflict sucks. And I just once it starts happening, I just walk away from it, and I'm like, it's going nowhere. We're not, it's just you're not. There's no right answer. There's not gonna be like, oh my god, that was it. We figured it out. Great.
Yeah. And Mom says Weeman's keeping it real. He agrees too. So it is wasted air, man. It's
totally.
It's one of those things where like you go at it for hours and there's just no resolution.
Yes.
Or whatever, 30 minutes.
Exactly.
Especially if you're drinking. Like I think that's the worst
time. If you're drinking, it's the worst. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know how many times I've had to tell people to shut the fuck up at bars. Like, you're trying to have a good time. They're over there arguing about something stupid.
So I got every morning. I just did it because we got a little wasted over New Year's, whatever. And I had to wake up. My lady's like, hey, she goes, I don't think you pissed them off, but you left and they thought you were pissed at them. And I go, okay, I'll just tell them this. And I woke up and I started singing that song. I forget the band's name, but I'm like, can we forget about the things you said when I was drunk? I didn't mean to call you that.
Lit. Is that Lit?
I think it is Lit.
Yeah,
so that's the new lit, after night drinking next morning theme song.
I was a kitchen and bar manager at a bowling alley. And the very last song was closing time. Dude, so cliche, but it was like every time.
That's awesome. Yeah, you gotta have theme songs for your moments.
Well, man, so Jackass 4 is coming out in like 3 weeks? 4 weeks?
In 1 month exactly. February 4th.
Perfect. So yeah, we picked the perfect day for this. That's nice.
Yeah. 1 month.
Is it gonna premiere in theaters?
Yeah, we want it. That's why we held out so long, because we only want it in theaters. It's the best place to watch the movie.
Yeah.
Everybody's all together. Everybody's cracking up, laughing. Somebody's throwing up over there. Everybody's, so it's a good time.
That is one thing about it that I like is like you'll go from cracking up to damn near gagging.
Oh yeah, and you want to be in the movie theater for you want the sound, you want the big screen.
Yeah. Oh, and now, I mean, have you guys taken advantage of like now you can smell in the theaters too?
Oh, I don't know. We've gotten that far. This is Jackass, dude. We're not getting, into like extra crazy, stuff.
You did 3D. You did 3D. Though.
Yeah, we did 3D. So when the second movie came out, Jackass 2, after it'd been out for a while, it ended at like, I'd say 4 months or whatever. It showed up at this dollar theater by the skate shop by me.
Oh shit.
And I'm like, hey, it'd be fun. Should rent it out. And this was like when MySpace was around, because it was like 2006.
Yep.
So MySpace was around. And I'm like, let's post on MySpace and say whoever shows up gets to see the movie for free. I'll buy it. It's 200. I called up and I'm like, how many seats in the one you got Jacket? They're like, 250 seats. I'm like, I'll buy them all right now. And so I bought them all. I set the time and we posted. It got so big. They had to put it in 4 theaters.
Did you pay for all the seats?
1,000 people showed up and they just put it in there and let it, they're like, oh my God, there's such a crowd. Cops came, everything. But here's what's crazy. There was no camera phones back then. It was only like those little disposable Kodak cameras.
Yes.
So we don't have much from it. But man, it was one of the funnest times.
That's crazy. Did they have you, or did you end up paying for all the other seats?
No, they did it on their own. They're like, because they knew they'd be selling popcorn, sodas, and food and all that. Like, the theater didn't know what to do. There were so many people there. So they just opened it all up and put it on all four
awesome,
screens.
Man.
So I went and I said, okay, start them off 10 minutes apart. And I went into each theater and said, hey, thanks for coming out. Fuck yeah, enjoy the movie. And everybody, dude, it was awesome.
Oh, hell yeah. It's a great time.
Yeah. That's the kind of shit I like doing.
I lived in a small town, college town in Lawrence, Kansas. You know who KU is, the basketball team KU? So I lived out there, and somebody posted that they were having a house party. And it was a small house, dude. I mean, it was maybe a 3-bedroom house. Yeah. And there were people coming in on buses and like fucking like it was in a cul-de-sac. Cul-de-sac was filled. There were like fire twirlers and shit in the backyard. And the cops ended up showing up and like breaking it up because there's way too many people.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, it's some fun times, man. I don't do that shit anymore though, but
I hear you. I probably have to do it again this year since the movie's coming out again.
Oh hell yeah!
So I'll figure out a way to do something like that again.
I'll definitely be going to see it.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. And also Merge 4.
Merge 4.
Right? Is it MERGE 4?
Yep.
Sweet.
So it's like merge forward. That's why the logo's all the arrows merging together.
I love it.
But it's merge forward.
I like it.
Yeah.
Was that your idea?
No, it's this lady, Cindy. She's from up north. She came up with it. And then she contacted me, Rob Roskop, and another guy. So
I'll go on there and get some socks.
Hell yeah, thank you.
For me and for my wife.
If you go right now till Christmas and you put in the
Christmas
code...
is over, man.
What?
So Christmas is over.
Oh, I guess the deal's done. Never mind.
It's all good.
Sorry.
It's all good. Unless you're talking about 2022.
Dude, I'm so spacey lately.
It's all good,
with all this stuff going on, it seems like every day's the same.
It blends. It really does.
It totally blends. It's crazy.
Yeah. And it's 9 a.m. your time. It's 11 o'clock here, you know, well, noon.
Yeah.
But that's another thing that gets me is the time differences, you know, like, because I'll have you on and then like next week I'll have a dude in New York. I had my buddy from Ireland on. I got to come on at like 6 a.m. just like catch him at 2 p.m, you know?
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I'm going to let you go. I really appreciate you coming on. I'd love to have you on again sometime if you got any.
Maybe right after the movie and stuff. I got new projects I'm working on now, but I can't talk about them. And I'll tell them about you after the movie.
Sounds good, man. If you're cool, come back on. I'd love to have you back on.
So. Fuck yeah.
All right, dude. You have a good one, all right?
Have a good one. You too.
Later.
Boom, late.